So I'm back in the van again. I got it back from the dealer and they did not fix the electrical issue that I've been trying to get solved for 2 years. It was really frustrating. The foreman called me in and I was really optimistic. I thought that maybe he had an idea on how to fix the problem. I had kind of gotten Ford customer care involved, but I went in and it was a trap. It was just like him berating me and claiming that I was making up this issue with the van, making this weird beep sound, and he was just saying that it was completely normal fuel pump priming, etc. So, I mean, there was really nothing I could do at that point. I didn't know how to argue with him any further because I'm not a mechanic. I could only bring things up, and he would just say, "Oh, it's not this, it's not that." So I'm like, "All right." But I had been without the van for 6 weeks, so it was just time to get it back. But my dad does have this mechanic that works at an independent garage who was a Ford dealer mechanic for 14 years before he quit. So he seems to have a lot of experience dealing with electrical issues. So I may take it there when I have the money to do that. But yeah, just in terms of the past few months, things have been really crazy. Having not having the van has been a huge stress on me financially, like psychologically, because it's like my home. It's my home. It's my studio. It's where I do absolutely everything. It's like my insulation from this crazy world that we're living in. So I was without that for 6 weeks, and then during that time, my friend and health practitioner Karen fell and broke her hip, and then she got stuck in this like nightmare situation, this janky ass rehab, and she had this like digestive problem at the same time. So she's like, normally you would just recover in a few weeks, right? And then you would go home, but she like, can't eat anything. And so she's just like trapped there, and I don't know how she's gonna get out without some kind of surgery to clear up the blockage. So that was just like extremely traumatic. I was posted a few videos about it. I did a GoFundMe, which we're kind of able to raise a few $1,000s. But the situation is just like so hard. Once you get stuck in the medical system like that, it just becomes this infinite loop where you can't get out of it. And she's really the only like close friend that I have left. So it's just crushing. And like I've had chronic joint pain for years, so I know what it feels like to just be like stuck and just hurting all the time. You can't escape it because you can't get out of your body. You're like trapped in your body, and every single second of every single day when things are hurting, it's just like, I don't know, being in this sort of like prison, but like you are the prison. And for basically a month out of that 6 weeks that I didn't have the van, I was trying my best to help her. I was talking to her on the phone. I was calling to try to find places that could do the surgery that she needs. And there's just like nothing, there's no transfer to another rehab. They just like don't have enough staff, and they're just like leaving her sitting on this bed 22 hours a day, like in pain. And she's been to the emergency room like 4 times or more, and 2 of those times I was literally on the phone with her all night long from like 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning. And then they just like send her back. They don't do anything at the emergency, because they don't have the ability. You have to make an appointment with a specialist to get this sort of problem addressed. So it's just like horrifying and draining. And eventually, after a month, I just completely burned out. I had to remove myself from the situation because I just could not take it anymore. There were just too many things going on in my life that are already mega stressful. Like my health problems, joint pain, other stuff. My dad is now legally blind in one eye, and he's losing more and more vision in his other eye. So that's just like this massive wave that's coming to like crush me in terms of having to take care of him, because he's not going to be able to take care of himself pretty soon. And then my mom's going into dementia, and they're divorced, so they're like half an hour away. So this is why I got the van in the first place, so that I could drive back and forth to help them with things without having to like disassemble and assemble my life every single time. Like everything would just be in the van. And that's like definitely been nice. But I am nowhere near done with the van build. There's still so many things that I have to do. I have to finish the upper cabinets. So I have storage space for things. I have to do the whole kitchen area with a sink and place to cut up food so I'm not going in and out of my parents' houses preparing stuff. And then also I just have a lot of stuff to do with filmmaking. Like I'm still learning how to make my lighting look good. Lighting has been like the biggest struggle for me, and the problem with the van is that there are lots of windows. Like I have two back windows in front of me, and I have two windows on either side of me. I have a window there, and I have a cargo window there. So I'm getting lots of like beautiful natural sunlight, but it is really hard to control the light that's coming into this van. Like on days like this when it's really dreary, there's not much light coming in at all, and then the van looks dark. And then on a day when it's sunny, there's like so much light coming through the cargo window that it blows that out, and my face looks dark in comparison, and then the footage is like all grainy, which is a comment that I've gotten a lot from people like complaining about the lighting. So part of it is just like skill and having the time to experiment with different lighting setups. And then another part of it is having like the tools and the gear that I need to make the lighting better. For example, like I just don't have a good way to attach like my lighting softbox to something on the van. Like I probably need to get some sort of super clamp that I can just kind of like screw onto one of the metal things, and then maybe have like a rod that comes out so I can adjust where my light is. But I also probably need a second light to light the back of the van, especially on days like this when it's really dark. I've been thinking about maybe a reflector that can kind of sometimes look more natural than just like a softbox, which is what I'm using right now. And that's kind of cool, because you just basically shine like a naked strong light up, and then there's just this sort of like silver reflector thing with like diffusion on it, and then it's kind of like it looks like it's coming from farther away, which always ends up creating a better light source, more natural, more sunlight looking source. Because when you're bouncing the light off, the light can seem like it's a lot farther away because you're going up and then you're bouncing off the reflector onto your face. Whereas right now, the light's probably about 3 feet away from me, and it can look a little bit harsh and kind of like blow out your face. And the other thing is just like I use the Sony a6400, which is a great camera, don't get me wrong, but it's ASPC, which is not ideal for low light situations like I'm in right now. And you can kind of improve things by shooting in 4K. Essentially, like you're shooting in double the size, and then when you edit, you kind of like bring it down so that you get more pixel density. But then you're dealing with these like massive files, which especially right now I can't do because my MacBook has zero space. I mean, literally, it only has room for one video project at a time. And every time I make a video, I have to like delete everything off of the computer so that I have room for the next video project. And it's been a real freaking pain. So at some point I want to sell my a6400 and my lenses, and then get a full frame, like an A7C, which is basically the same thing by Sony, except full frame is kind of like shooting in 4K, except you don't have these massive files. It's just like the sensor is just bigger natively, and it tends to look a lot better in low light situations. But yeah, the third thing I have going on is that I have not paid any taxes, quarterly business taxes from this year, because I just had so many expenses with food and my van payment and buying stuff for the van, whether it was like paint or wood for the walls and the floor. And then I was stuck during the winter basically not being able to do anything because I didn't have the bookcase finished. It was just essentially like this bare wall that looked really ugly, and I couldn't film videos. I didn't feel confident filming videos in front of it because it just looked totally unprofessional. And then once I did get the bookcase finished, it was so goddamn cold in New York. I mean, it was literally like 0 degrees to 15 degrees every single day, and it was just too cold to go outside and film videos. Like my fingers were just getting frostbite in like 2 minutes of trying to operate the camera outside. And then after that, this whole thing with my friend going to the hospital and then going into rehab and then going back and forth between the emergency room and rehab kicked off. And then before that, I broke my ink monitor. So it was just like stress and trauma and financial problems just piled one after another. And then I had the van thing too, where I lost the van for 6 weeks. So I had planned to like get the bookcase done and then just go hardcore into like filming barefoot videos again. But I'm only just now starting to be able to do that again. So it's like I have taxes due in a month, probably $2,000 to $3,000 of taxes, I would guess. I have like no way to pay them, so I'll probably have to go onto a payment plan with the IRS, and then I won't be able to pay this year's taxes. So yeah, things are really shitty right now, but I'm glad that I got the van back. And it seems like this guy that my dad knows, the mechanic who used to work at Ford, might be able to help sort it out. I think if he could just like diagnose the problem. My van is still under warranty, so I could take that diagnosis and then go to a different Ford dealer, and hopefully they should be able to fix the problem. Anyways, that's what's going on with me. I hope you guys are having a better time in life than I am right now, but I think things will turn around. You know, like I've been able to review a lot more barefoot shoes recently, which is one of my favorite things to do. And once I get the e-ink monitor back, which I'm very close to doing, I can start working my sci-fi book again, which will be nice to just have like an escape from everything that's been going on, you know? But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm probably gonna post a Vivo Barefoot Tracker or a sandal video maybe tomorrow or the next day, depending on weather. And that will be a really cool one. It's definitely my favorite trail sandal of all time, especially for water. So thank you guys for watching. I will catch you next time. Peace.